And then all of the other things that he has ownership in or whatever is what makes him a billionaire. But yeah, for me personally, yeah.
I'm just saying, isn't that the deal with most billionaires? They got like fucking portfolio that makes them the billionaire, not like cash.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying that's a bad thing or anything. I'm just saying that's information that he did say in the interview. That is true. But yeah, so I think that is honestly, at least that's a huge part of it, and a lot of what he has talked about and what he started to frame it as to get away from the Jewish thing is the business aspect.
Do you think, like I said earlier, of him acting crazy to like for them to terminate the contract so like he doesn't have to fucking buy out or like get taxed or some shit? It's just like they're like, yo, you're just crazy. We're done dealing with you. Figure it out. And he's just like, haha. Yeah.
For sure, and I think to a certain extent he's trying to make his name in the short term not as profitable for those businesses. And yeah, which then he could end up, like I said, and then he could just build his name back up, apologize, whatever. And there's a lot of people that even without that are still going to, like I said, support. So me personally, yeah, I think y'all got an opinion on it?
Yeah, no, he's wilding.
He's definitely wilding.
That's definitely a good explanation for it, for sure.
But no matter what, bro, he gonna keep going. Everybody gonna support him, like you said.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think he's definitely lost he's lost support from a lot of his peers in the industry because it would just be frowned upon. For example, Jay-Z, somebody, I haven't heard anything about this issue at all and not even distancing himself, which I think that's interesting, to be honest. I would have thought that would have already happened. In that interview, he said something about Jay-Z and in the Pierce Morgan one about Jay-Z and Beyonce supposed to like back him, and then he said something about they were going to do Watch the Throne 2, which is his collaborative album, Watch the Throne 1 with Jay-Z. So I think that's interesting, but just about everybody else that I can think of has separated. It's like with the White Lives Matter shirt. Who was it? I think it was Q-Tip, maybe, which is always a close collaborator with Kanye West. He came out at that point with the White Lives Matter shirt and publicly spoke out against it. And yeah, I mean, Mike Dean, a producer he's worked with for a long time, came out, said he's fucking wildin' and basically said he's not going to work with him anymore. Then you got corporations like Balenciaga has already stepped away from him. Vogue has said they won't work with him again. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think he's to a point where he's not reliant on these machines to continue to push. I think if anything, if he could find a way to produce his products, which he will, and then he's not competing against himself, against Nike producing Yeezy products, then I think, yeah, in the long run, he probably does win from that.
Limited stock, and he can charge whatever he wants. People
Sure. Yeah. Have you seen the did anybody see the
billionaire, so it doesn't matter.
Did anybody see the Drink Champs interview by chance?
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw it? Did you see that, Spoo?
I saw bits of it, not the whole thing by any means.
Okay. Well, have you heard that so Nori's come out, he's apologized for it. They pulled the video down, which is funny because at first when that video was coming out, like before it had came out, or maybe it was right when either way, Nori had tweeted something where he's basically filming, he's basically bragging. He's like, hey, I'll give y'all back the internet after the weekend or some shit like that. And then literally 2 days later, he's on like Breakfast Club saying, look, I apologize. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. But yeah, but it shows, to me, this shows how much of how much public facing people are doing. You know what I mean? On one hand, you have, which I feel them. To be honest with you, I think there should be. I don't see an issue with the platform. I do think on that Drink Champs interview specifically, Nori did fail as far as if you're gonna have somebody come on and say that shit. I personally think there should be a place for those kind of conversations, but you have to challenge them, and you can't just let them run the interview. You know what I'm saying? And just spout hate speech, which in certain cases he is spouting hate speech, right. And in other cases he's, maybe there's merit in what he's saying, and like I said, you can let him say that, but you can't let just hate speech happen in front of you and then allow it to go unchallenged, especially in a public forum where once again it's going to be propagated, it's going to be shared to people's phones, and it's just going to multiply itself a million times over. So in that case, I think, and Nori came out, he's like, look, we were drunk, and basically, I just wanted to give him a space to speak. But like I said, it's not an excuse for you having a platform. And
being negligent.
And just letting it go. And I don't think that, honestly,
if he challenged him, it would have been a lot different.
Well, it would have been a lot different. And he was saying, which I don't think this is an excuse, but he said that when they came in, they said, hey, well, this had to do with the editing. That's why I think Nori is 100% wrong. Even in his apology, I think he's wrong. because, and I think it's a lot of like excuses, literally. But he's like, oh, they came in, they said like if there's any like funny shit or if we're censored, then we're just gonna get up and walk out, is what Kanye said, like off rip when he first came in the room with them. So I guess we're walking on eggshells because they wanted it to go smoothly and they didn't want to lose the interview. But like I said, that's not an excuse. And in my opinion, censored is different than being challenged. On the Piers Morgan interview, for example, I think he's challenged plenty. And I would have probably preferred to hear Nori challenge him, somebody that probably would have challenged him with a little bit of like a little bit more love, considering they come from the same industry. And yeah,
and Kanye's a big figure in the industry too.
For sure,
in the world,
general.
period. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. He's canceled now, though. I mean, won't be back on social media for a little bit.
Well, I don't know, because so already I've heard that Instagram anyways are considering unblocking him after a period of time. And then when Elon Musk, he's back on to take over Twitter. When that happens, I don't know that he won't be unblocked, because a lot of the reasoning for Elon Musk taking that over is because of free speech. Correct? I mean, I think that's a lot of what he's.
Did you see he terminated his ex's account? Whatever Grimes, what's her name? Deleted that bitch's account. Yeah, you won the Twitter.
I just appreciate you heard my request. Right here again, eating cookies. Took a little cookie break in between the Ye conversation. By the way, how you feel about that's something I'm trying to work on, because he actually got a little shitty. People call him Kanye West. Are you ever gonna respect the name change?
Yeah, I'd rather call him Ye.
Oh, okay, so yeah, you're like it suits me.
Yeah, because I was calling him Ye. I'm gonna call him Kanye. Fuck that.
Well, I think you actually had a really good argument. Made me like actually reconsider.
You know what we also have to talk about?
We're on right now.
Okay.
So let us know.
Motherfucking the ecosystem. Is that how you pronounce it?
The
ecosystem.
The city that he's putting together.
Oh, it's a city.
I think so.
He's like, I want to build my own universe.
You thought that's what it was?
That's literally what he said.
Well, but Billy, how is he going to build a universe? He's not God.
Like his own ecosystem.
No, but listen,
He can do a city.
But when he named it ecosystem, I'm like,
I feel
what the
that.
fuck is this gonna look like?
Well, you remember when Young Thug had said something, because he had all that land, and where he wanted to build a city, and he said, "I'll give you as much land as you want." It's Kanye West to do whatever you want.
You know, it's crazy. Saudi Arabia or wherever, I think that's where they're doing it. Is that 100-mile fucking city
inside of just like a wall.
It's a glass mirror fucking building in the middle of the desert.
Fact check, they don't pull it up.
No,
yeah, and then what's that called? Screenshot it.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
The
The
you
design
said
is beautiful.
you said 1,000 feet.
It's
1,000 miles.
miles long.
It's like a Great Wall of China looking.
Bro, it's gonna go into the ocean, like the water, wherever they got water at. It's gonna go into it, and there's gonna be a swimming lane for commuters. I don't know why they'll need it, but I was like, that's fucking fun.
Swimming lane.
You're like, you gotta get somewhere, take a dive, bitch.
That's wild.
That's pretty hard.
How they keep sharks out?
It's for the mermaids.
I don't know how I feel.
I mean, they're building this city in the desert, so I'm sure they can mandate, or whatever.
It's probably gonna be all man-made, like waterways.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Put salt
Doesn't
water.
have enough money for that.
Who?
Bro, no, they have a lot of money. They have all the money.
Dude, you're talking about a country that has a family of trillionaires because of fucking oil.
Yeah, no, they got money.
Saudi Arabia, like them families got like,
Princes are
yeah,
crazy.
it's gonna house 9 million people.
So now that we have it pulled up, real quick, let's just wrap up this Kanye conversation real quick.
Okay.
So one thing I wanted to ask y'all your opinion on, he had corrected some people that he was interviewing with because they were calling him Kanye West. And he was like, basically respect that he actually legally has changed his name to Ye. And I don't know, how do you feel about people ignoring that, honestly? I thought that was interesting. For me, it's something I just didn't even think about, didn't pay any mind to, just would call him Kanye West because I'm used to calling him Kanye West.
Exactly why no one else is doing it.
But when somebody goes, he like I say, made an interesting point. He compared it to Muhammad Ali. When Muhammad Ali took the name Muhammad Ali, his name's Cassius Clay. And that's what he was saying. He's like, don't Cassius me, is what he said. He's like, don't Cassius me. It's Ye. Legally, he went through the trouble to change his name. I think you should respect that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah. Not really a huge topic
also,
with it, but you know what I mean?
Also in that aspect of being on like a fucking TV nationally. So it's like,
Yeah.
he could have been doing it disrespectful. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I think it's just like all of us. We're 20 years. We're used to calling you Kanye West. But like I said, I think he does deserve the respect to take a moment and then try to reprogram our own minds to call him what he wants to be called.
Not everybody knows that.
I mean, I call him sometimes.
Well, I mean,
before you even change.
I think you're supposed to know that though.
Well, but the thing is,
when we see you, Kanye. That's Kanye, not no damn gay.
I feel that. No, and I feel that, and it's not as serious as the example I'm about to give, but like we're in the point in this as a society where people wake up and they say that they want to be called Zers, and there's a lot of places in the country. There's a lot of places in the country where they say respect people, how people want to be addressed, and that's something that like I can't totally get behind the most extreme version of, although a lot of it I can support.
The people that want to be called gollywogs and shit.
We're just gonna keep on making up fucking fantasy creatures. We're basically about to start. We're gonna write the fucking sequel to Game of Thrones right now.
Hell yeah! What's the Final Fantasy shit?
The Ollie Oxenfreeds. But yeah, so either way, so this is the last serious point. I just wanted to get y'all's opinion on it. It's not really that big of a thing, but this is a serious thing. He's being sued right now by George Floyd's family. I believe it's for $250 million. Could you pull it up on another tab? Not for I don't think it's defamation of character, because this is something I learned through this process actually, that you can't defame a dead person. So that's not, huh?
This is yay.
Yeah. He's getting. Look, you killed it. Look, you killed it. Clap it up. There it is. Yes, sir. 7 in the building. Getting his brother's name right. But yeah, how much is it? Can we see there? I can't see it because the camera. You're all good. Trying to see that amount. But
I mean, they didn't even sue the city.
Is that true?
They didn't even sue the city that killed him for that much money.
Oh, okay. But they did sue him.
Possibly.
I'm pretty sure they did. It was a pretty big thing, if you remember. Pull it up. Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll just assume, and I feel like that's a fair thing to assume, to be honest. But with what he said, by the way, was on the Drink Champs interview, he was saying that George Floyd didn't die from the knee on his neck. He said, according to Candace Owens, 250, okay. According to the Candace Owens documentary, anyways, he had passed away from fentanyl overdose.
Them poking him.
Them
while
poking
they were
him.
fucking trying to choke, whatever, do whatever.
So, I think, and I guess another thing we want to pull up. You want to pull up to see if there are reports that he died with fentanyl in his blood.
How many stories are they gonna put out here? I've heard of
George Floyd. Did they sue the city when he died?
See, but I've heard that George Floyd was already under the impression of having drugs in the system before they pulled him out. That's what I heard too. And that's when they pulled him out, because the dude he was
high.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think the story also is that he tried to pass off a counterfeit bill in the gas station or something like that. What was that? Could you say that, Mike? I can hear right here.
They got $27 million in a settlement from the city. So my thing,
$27 million.
My thing is you're going after Kanye for more money than you got for the people that actually murdered your son. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
they're gonna put that $27 million down for the lawyer and make sure they get that. Because I promise you, bro. Listen, they think they smart, bro. Don't worry about that, bro. Everybody's already talking about it. Why are you going for Kanye though?
Yeah, 250. I've actually heard conspiracies. That's part of the reason that more of the businesses that work with him are trying to step away, because they don't want to be sued for this.